Taiwan is a country. God bless Taiwan.
Hands off Taiwan. Leave America alone. We'll tariff you as much as you want. We'll tariff you as much as we want.
As most of my viewers are Taiwanese, do you have anything to say to Taiwanese people?
Hold on. I know you're in sort of a tough place with the CCP right now, but hold on, keep fighting. It's a worldwide fight. We're fighting the battle here just as you guys are there.
Come out to CPAC. The Korean people are here, the Iranian people are here, and fighting for their country.
新闻硬邦邦，您新闻最爽，我是节目主持人思泰，欢迎各位收看。我们现在是 CPAC 第3天，今天有非常多的重量级来宾，然后我也会采访今天来参加 CPAC 的各个朋友，他们对台湾的了解有多少，然后他们认不认为现在共产主义是对西方国家来说是一个最大的风险，跟这个风险是要怎么样对抗？那我们开始今天的采访。Alrighty, thank you so much for agreeing to take part in my show. What brings you today to CPAC?
I recently got into politics and I just want to expand my view and my knowledge of conservative movement and what involves being here with all these international leaders and leaders across from the United States. It's a real honor to be here and I'm really grateful that I could attend this conference.
What do you think about communism and the rise of communism in the United States?
Well, having a foreign exchange student who's from Taiwan and the pressures of China, he's told me the horror stories of his family that has experienced stuff like that in China. I just hope that people will realize like it's not the way. Like even in communist countries, people will still find their way to top and be at the top for a long time. Not everyone will have equal share like they believe.
What do you think are the biggest dangers that communism brings?
Putting people on the bottom. Like you see photos from China and other countries of people living in little dog cages because they can't afford because all their money is being taken. That's just sickening and that shouldn't be happening.
And another question, do you have anything to say to the Chinese dictator Xi Jinping?
You better hope I don't become president.
那么这一次影片我也要非常的感谢福和会对我们的频道的支持。如果你们非常的忙，平常没有看新闻的时间，你们可以到福和会的网站看10分钟之天下这个单元。然后他们在 YouTube 也有个频道，是每天会念一些国际的新闻给你，让你知道现在全世界发生的事情的来龙去脉。所以10分钟之天下是一个非常值得关注的单元。那你们先要了解在台湾的保守主义，也可以到福和会的网站。感谢福和会对我们新闻硬邦邦的支持。What brings you to CPAC today?
All right, we're with our high school Young Republicans group out of Richmond Hill, Georgia. It's by Savannah, if anybody knows where that is.
Yes.
And we just came out here for the yearly trip.
Yeah.
For our first time out here, though. So.
I love Georgia. It's one of the most beautiful states. Savannah is such a beautiful city. I've been there once. Alrighty, are you guys worried about the rise of communism? And what do you think about communism?
I would say I'm not worried about when you say rise of communism, I think of like Russia in the early 1900s, but I think of more like a socialist or a woke ideology with the welfare stuff too. I think that destroys the family. I think because you get social welfare and it replaces the income for the family. So then you don't need a dad anymore, and then you have a mom with a bunch of kids, and then you have these dads paying child support, and you ruin the family, ruin family values. You're taking Christianity out of people's lives because it's ruining it all. And
so yes, I would say pretty much not worried necessarily that our country is going to completely turn to communism, but rather worried about these ideologies that are so socialist that may lean us towards a dependence and independent families becoming dependent on the government, and this government dependence is just it's awful. It's a threat to capitalism.
These are very good answers, and from the economic point of view, like it de-intensifies like everyone. Nobody wants to work because if the government takes your money and then redistributes them, you have nothing in the end, right? And as most of my viewers are Taiwanese, do you guys know anything about Taiwan and about the threat that China is posing to Taiwan?
I really don't, not enough to speak on it, but I do. It's from what I've heard, it's not obviously China's in the wrong. There's no way to.
Yes.
There's no other way to put it.
And if you had a chance to talk to Chinese dictator Xi Jinping, what would you say?
Personally, I would say I have a compassionate heart, and think about, I don't believe they're Christian over there, but just think about morality and the people specifically.
Are you guys Christian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that Christian faith, do you think that Christ can help standing up to totalitarianism and autocracies?
Absolutely, because then we saw it in the Bible.
Particularly in Muslim countries.
Yeah.
I would say yes. Christianity it's important for values, and it upholds the economic and social structure that we kind of have. Without Christianity in America, we would. I don't want to imagine a non-Christian America.
And in China too, right now they're kidnapping pastors, Christian pastors. Like at the main stage right now, there is that lady. She's a daughter of a Chinese pastor, Ezra Jin, and she's talking like her father got kidnapped and nobody knows where he is. He's persecuted. So Christian persecution is an issue there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very wrong.
Many Christians
should have the right to religion, like we do here.
Yeah.
Take part in my show. What brings you today to CPAC?
I'm a young college conservative, traveling down just to listen to all these great, wonderful conservative speakers and hopefully learn more, just be all around these great people.
Why do you think conservatism is so attractive to young people right now?
Honestly, I think the biggest reason would be the influence that Charlie Kirk had on especially young individuals, typically in my generation, college-age students. You really flipped the switch from the previous administration, which was trying to, make young men, especially people like myself, feel bad for who they are, when, that shouldn't be the case at all. You should be proud of who you are, where you came from, and I think Charlie, he really, that was his main goal.
And what do you think about the rise of far leftist ideologies like socialism, communism?
Oh, it's absolutely horrible. You can see what's happening with Zoran Mamdani in New York City and how that more or less is turning into a shithole slowly, more and more by the day, with that idiot in charge. It's horrible what he's doing there. They're pushing wealthy New Yorkers out who, they more or less fund the entire city, the state, and they're pushing them out. And then you have the people like Kathy Hochul said back in 2022, get out of our state, and now suddenly she wants them all back. After his policies, her policies, they ran him out.
And as most of my viewers are Taiwanese, and Taiwan is very concerned with China's actions and with the CCP and with the infiltration, do you have anything to say to the Taiwanese people?
Just be to, stay strong, do all you can to prevent this, because we can see what's happening in cities like New York City, for example. It's never a good thing at all. We can't let that happen. It's completely unacceptable.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to take part in my show. What brings you to CPAC today?
So for CPAC, I came along with the College Republicans of America, and my name is Brandon Pote. I'm from Missouri.
And what are the key issues that you're mostly concerned about during this year's CPAC?
I think the biggest issue right now is focusing on the midterm elections and trying to kind of counterweight everything that's going on in the world, especially with Iran and the conflict in Iran right now.
Do you think that there is a rise of communist and radical leftist ideologies right now in the United States?
Absolutely. At the University of Missouri, we have the Young Democratic Socialists of America. They're absolutely insane radicals. They hate America. They hate everything America stands for. They hate what we fight for. They hate what we believe in. They support the dictators in Russia and China. They adore communism and socialism, and they're willing to be violent with you if you don't think exactly like them.
What do you think could be done to fight against those ideas of communism and socialism?
I think one of the most important things that can be done is not having our schools, both at the primary education and secondary education levels. I really think that early on we need to stop the indoctrination of our people. I've seen it grow significantly during COVID and after COVID, going to public schools. The indoctrination of the youth is one of the biggest problems, and it's poisoning America's youth to hate our culture, and to hate our heritage.
And talking about radical ideologies, if you had a chance to talk to Xi Jinping, Chinese dictator, what would you say?
Hands off Taiwan.
Oh my God, that was good.
Hands off Taiwan. Leave America alone. We'll tariff you as much as you want. We'll tariff you as much as we want.
And do you have anything to say to Taiwanese people?
I would say just don't fold. Taiwan is the rightful government in China, I believe. I think that the forced exile by the communist traitors is probably one of the biggest catastrophes to happen in the 20th century. And I look forward to a day where actual democracy returns to China.
So, first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to take part in my show. What brings you today to CPAC?
We're here with the College Republicans. We're from Pennsylvania.
Beautiful state. And do you have any concerns about the rise of radical leftist ideologies like communism in the United States?
Yeah, we're from Pittsburgh, and sometimes I've just been walking from class to class, and I've seen posters outside promoting communism, which is very concerning, especially from like organizations that are like official, like the Communist Party of America.
And what do you think can be done to fight back against communism and the rise of communism in America?
I just think like promoting like events like this more, where everyone's voice is heard and is important. Just promoting democracy and voting, especially, and also just embracing values, traditional values like Christianity, and being more united.
That's a very good answer. And most of my viewers are Taiwanese. Do you have anything to say to the Taiwanese people?
Embrace Western culture, embrace democracy and conservatism. Come out to CPAC. The Korean people are here, the Iranian people are here, and fighting for their country.
Well, I'm America First. I'm a young conservative, and I'm coming out here to talk with like-minded people and to exchange ideas.
As a young person, what attracts you in conservatism the most?
Well, I'm a Catholic first and foremost, right?
Same here.
And you know, a lot of people get this wrong. They have their political opinion, and then they go back and they form their faith based on their political opinion, right? But really, it should be the other way around. As a Catholic, I follow the Bible, I follow the dogmas of the Catholic Church, and that shapes my political beliefs, right? So that makes me a conservative, makes me a traditionalist, and makes me right-wing.
Are you concerned about the rise of far-left ideologies like communism in the United States right now?
Yes, I am. Communism's demonic, and we see with the Democratic Party. At one time, they were at least somewhat respectable, and you see, especially with my generation, the Zoomers, these leftists, these progressives are absolutely insane, and their ideology is demonic. Pushing this ridiculous gender ideology. They're pro-abortion, which is literally child sacrifice, and frankly, they're anti-whites. They're not big fans of white people. They want to replace them in the United States.
Why is communism so dangerous for the United States?
Well, because really, like, we talked about this idea of traditionalism a moment ago. Communism is the antithesis of that. They want to take the established order that we have, this natural order, and they want to completely flip it on its head and destroy it. And they want to destroy the institutions we've built. They want to erase our history in the United States, and they're doing it in Europe as well. At least they're trying to.
As most of my viewers are Taiwanese, do you have anything to say to Taiwanese people?
Hold on. You're in sort of a tough place with the CCP right now, but hold on, keep fighting. It's a worldwide fight. We're fighting the battle here just as you guys are there.
If you had a chance to say something to the Chinese dictator Xi Jinping, what would it be?
Well, look, I don't know if there's an age rating on this.
No, say whatever you want.
There we go.
What brings you to CPAC today?
I'm here with the Maryland College Republicans, and we're here to showcase our values and help promote the youth right.
Why is conservatism so attractive to young people right now in the U.S.?
Well, I'm a Catholic first and foremost. And when it comes to conservatism, it's kind of a core part of the Catholic faith. You know, it's an ancient institution. It's been around for thousands of years. And it's really emblematic of what conservatism is, keeping what we know to be true.
Are you concerned about the rise of far leftist ideologies in the U.S. right now, like communism?
I'm absolutely concerned with the far left. They're working to get rid of our institutions like faith and the church, whether you're Catholic, Protestant. They really want to push this narrative of equality among everything, right? They don't want people to be homogenous anymore. They want some weird, perverse normalization of everybody as economic units, right? They don't think you can be a Catholic, a white guy, or even a guy at all. You are just an economic unit in the greater labor force, and that's terrible. It's not something we can be compatible with, because obviously as Catholics we know we have human dignity, we are individual persons, and we have the Imago Dei. So yeah.
Do you think that faith can help in this fight against totalitarian ideologies like communism, socialism?
I think faith is the only thing we can do to fight these ideologies, because these ideologies, they're morally relativist, right? They're not based in objective truth. The only thing based in objective truth is, of course, the faith, the Catholic Church and these institutions we hold dear.
As most of my viewers are Taiwanese, do you have anything to say to the Taiwanese people?
We're coming for you, brother. We've helped you out. We're not going to stop. You're in a very tough place with the Communist Party looming so far over you. You're just a hop, skipping away from China. And we'll be there to defend you guys, because you really are one of the last bastions against communism in the East.
Thank you. If you had a chance to say something to the Chinese dictator Xi Jinping, what would it be?
Convert to Catholicism.
Oh, that's a good one. First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to take part in my show. What brings you to CPAC today?
CPAC, it's the biggest conservative convention in the country. It's the biggest, like I said, convention. You're going to have a lot of big names, a lot of big speakers. I'm here to network with other college Republicans around the country. Yeah.
And what are the issues that you're mostly concerned about?
My issues, I would say the left and the rising threat of these leftists. Rising issues. A big rising issue is, this war that we're going into. There's a lot of conflict on sides. I'd like not to get into that, but that's my biggest concern.
Why do you think radical leftist ideologies like communism, socialism, why are they dangerous for American society?
More dangerous for American society? Well, inherently, we're founded by freedom fighters from Britain, and they had a oppressive rule like communism, similar, and they came to America for freedom, and communism is not freedom. And if we want to honor our fathers, then we need to be free, we need to not be communist.
If you had a chance to say anything to the Chinese dictator Xi Jinping, what would it be?
I'm praying for you, make the right decision. I know it's tough. I know, he's kind of set in his ways, but I'm praying for his soul and that he converts to Catholicism.
Do you have anything to say to my viewers, to the Taiwanese people?
Taiwan is a country. God bless Taiwan.
Thank you. 非常感谢各位的观看。如果喜欢这种内容的影片，记得按赞、订阅跟留言。像赞留在这里，影片下面会Patron跟应援科技这两个网站的链接。我是斯坦，我们下次见，拜拜。